Welcome to the Locker, Season 7, Episode 7. As y'all can all see, and if you read the caption, the description of the broadcast, is just your boy at this thing by himself. Let's see. I got big shoes to fill, man. This is not truly normal for me, but let's see if I can do the damn thing tonight. All right, we're gonna rock and roll. Look, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little different. Let me send out this link since I don't know, man. Ever since last week, um, the broadcast hasn't been sending out a link for me to share. So I'm gonna post this so now everybody can see where we're at. Look, y'all. You know what's crazy, man? And I know fans is short for fanatical. I totally get it. I really do. But in one aspect, we gotta find a way to be rational. That's a little bit. And here's the weirdness to me as I talk about the game. You know, I don't like talking about men's basketball because there's enough talking heads that dissect and talk about it over and over and over again. So I don't want to belabor on that so much, but I am going to a little bit. Because as I watched the game last night, were all the bad things, good things, and different things that went on with that game last night, to me, it is relatively simple of the issues with last night game. If we're going to talk about last night game and last night game alone, it was pretty simple. Let me pull up the stats. It was pretty simple. For me, when your best players can't hit free throws, we in trouble. If I'm labeling whom our best player is, I think our best player is Owe, and our probably second player is Aberdeen. When those two players who have the ball in their hand more than anybody else on the team, when they go 5 for 13 from the charity stripe, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. When you can't hit free throws, and more importantly, when you can't hit free throws in key situations, it's going to be a problem. And for me last night, there's two things that happened. When we got out and I came to the game late, I think we was up 7-3. I'm like, oh, that's not good for us. We win it early. That's not good. And then when we just started missing free throws, Aberdeen was 2 for 8. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. That was 3-pointers. We were 7 for 13 from the free throw line. Those two guys were 7 for 13. 7 for 13. That's 6 misses. We lost by 8. 6 misses. When you only shoot 20, and of your 8 misses, 6 come from your two best players. On the flip side, Georgia was 14 for 19. So it wasn't like it was a big difference in free throw shots, and actually not a big difference in 2-pointer and 3-pointers made. And they were very good last night for 3-point line, which is not their standard. But we can't miss free throws. Georgia scored 22 points in the turnovers. So 22 points off of turnovers. Jay Hayes, you right on. 22 points off of turnovers and 8 missed free throws. You can say all you want about Pope. Your two players, that's the game. We can talk about players being physical at the rim, making layups, all that stuff. Turnovers and free throws. Turnovers and free throws. But you know what's so crazy about this though? This is the one that gets me. Now, let's put a pin in this, and I'm gonna go to the women's game. I talk about the women's game because not a lot of people talk about the women's game. This game that they played against Ole Miss was huge. It was, to me, as we say sometimes, the biggest game of the year, right? That Vandy game still haunts me at Memorial Coliseum for the women's. Women games, Vanderbilt hunts me because we should know that they got a stud player and we allow her to shoot a couple open threes at the end of the game. But here's the part that I'm going to connect these two games with. And I don't know if it comes back to both teams having Kentucky kids on the team or people finding something to complain about. And if you don't think Kenny Brooks is a elite level coach, I'm not going to argue with you on that because he is undoubtedly an elite level coach. So what I've heard from fans about Kenny Brooks lately, when we went through our little losing streak because we didn't have Key. So we didn't have Key, and we lost 3 games in a row. Then we had another stretch of losing against Vandy and losing against Texas, right? And the thing I heard is, well, we don't play enough players. If he would have played, we only playing 6 to 7, and there's more players on the bench, and they get tired in a game. And why don't we play more players? It's his fault for not developing KK and Lexi Blue. And why did Gilvin come back when she was at West Kentucky? If she would have known that, she probably would have stayed at West Kentucky. All this stuff that I've heard, I'm not saying this from everybody, but I heard that sentiment of Kenny Brooks not playing enough players or not elevating enough players or not getting enough players ready. And we're only sticking with our 6 to 7 best, which I guess Obi comes off the bench since Asia is, so I guess it's be 6, right? I think he's playing 6 big time. Let me make sure before I'm talking crazy. Tanaki said, yes, he's playing 6. Key, Hassett, Strack, Asia, T. Morgan, and Obi. KK and Lexi gets the next share of minutes. So he's playing 6. And when we lost to Vanderbilt, it's because the lady was tired and blah, 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 right? Now, so fans got on Kenny Brooks for not playing enough players. And then last night with the men's game, now I hear Pope playing too many players. Why he subbing out guys when they're on a roll? Why can't we just stick with the players who got us to this point? Why the sub pattern is what it is? Why can't we find a better sub pattern? Why is he playing so many players? It's too many players playing 14 less minutes. We need to elevate the minutes of. So I'm getting back to this. So if that's the case, which approach is the best approach? See, for me, it's like as a coach now that and I coach little kids. I'm not going to count little kids because that's a whole different level of coaching middle school kids and 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds. But now coaching high school, I can imagine the level of college. Is sometimes as people outside of the building, outside of the close circle, that we don't know what's really going on. As a coach, there are so many things that are are put into your recipe of why you play certain players and why you don't play certain players. It might be a matchup. It might not. It might be they didn't do well in practice this week. I will tell you this: when I played, when you was closer to being student athlete. If you didn't go to class all week, maybe the coach didn't trust you to play. Maybe you was in the doghouse. There's so many variables to why people don't play, and we as fans just equate it to something that we as fans see as tangible. But my thing still is this: which approach is right? Because we argue about a coach for only playing six. Then on the flip side, we argue about a coach who's playing 8 to 9. So which one is it? Because there's probably not a right way. It's also things of this. As a good coach, you know certain players only have certain stretches of playing at their full potential. For example, let's just go with Owe. Let's say Owe can play because I don't want to talk about the game too much, but it's like there were certain plays where defensively, it's like, what are you doing, brother? If Owe gets screened, he pretty much stops. He's not fighting hard over the screen. He's not, if he goes under the screen, he's not like a lot of things happen that may be caused by certain players playing too many minutes. Like the women's game, maybe Asia Boone and T. Morgan and Strat can play 30 plus minutes, close to 40 minutes. They are the women's game. Hassett, Strat, Boone, and Morgan played 34 plus minutes. Keek probably can't play 30 minutes. It'll be nice if Keek could play 30 minutes. I think Keek got in foul trouble that game though anyway. Right? So what if we play our player, where we play Aberdeen and Owe and Chandler 30 plus minutes for 6 games in a row? Maybe they can't do that. Maybe that's outside their comfort zone of playing that many minutes for that many games in a row. How many people say that some teams run their players into the ground? Tips for the NBA has been classified as a coach who just run his players into the ground when they get the playoffs. They ain't worth a dime. I don't know which way is the right way because I'm not coaching these players and I don't know inside and out how they respond to certain stimulus. But I will say this, as we have said in back in the day, sometimes coaches have to protect their players. And sometimes the player gets on the street and he's hot and I know like Golden State, they stagger minutes with certain players. Like maybe there was a plan to stagger minutes. And even though I'm hot, we got to go with our plan. Or you don't go with your plan. And then fans get mad at you because in the game, your players don't have enough gas in the tank to finish the game like the women did against Vanderbilt. So it's kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't. Coaching the game is not as easy as it's like fans, like I heard someone, I saw a post like, I think Corey said we lost 3 games this year at home. Someone said we just don't do that at Kentucky. I don't know the history, but that level of entitlement is a little weird. Let's see. Let's say we lose 3 games. We lost 3 games at home. Let's say we make it to the Elite Eight. Let's say we even make it to the Final Four. If we make it to the Final Four, we lost 3 home games. Does that make it better? Or are we just creatures of the moment and we just gonna bitch and moan about everything that happens in the current moment? Because for a time, how many games after that bad pre-conference run of games, and now we start to gain some steam. And I know the Vanderbilt game was a punch in the face, but if you get to the tournament, if they lose the first round of the tournament, look, I'll back off. We lost 3 home games. Duh, we definitely gonna get the first. But if these guys get past the Sweet 16, if this group, and I'm not saying they will, but this group gets hot, gets past the Sweet 16, we're having 2 players not playing. Get past the Sweet 16. Get to the Elite Eight, let's say. These down 3 home games don't matter that we lost. We cannot say that's not Kentucky. I'm not a native Kentuckian, obviously. So I don't wear, and I wear this a lot. We have won 8 national championships in how many years of existence? So how many years have we not won a national championship? But we feel like we should always win national championship, but we don't win national championship all the time. We have gone through years of not winning national championship. When I got to Kentucky in '93, there was several years between. I think we won in '96. What was the year before that? It wasn't like we won every other year. Now we should have won back to back, but there's gaps. There are gaps in between Final Fours and gaps between national championships. Like I always say, this is was it really 78 to 96? Wow. See, I would have said it was in the 80s, but Smizo said it's 78 to 90. 18 years. Here's the thing. Now, how many Final Fours did we go through in those 18 years? How many Final Fours did we go? Like, it's just weird how if you don't go to, like, UConn women's basketball team and now South Carolina, if they don't get to the Final Four, it's a problem. How many times have UConn been to the Final Four since the 90s? Well, since probably the 2000s. How long has Gino been? Whenever when Rebecca Lobo won that national championship, I think, was that not the 2000s? Whenever 2000, because I wasn't in the 90s. Since they started winning, y'all, they've been to pretty much every fucking Final Four. So if they don't make a Final Four, that is a problem. South Carolina with Dawn State has been pretty much to all the Final Fours. If they don't make it to the Final Four, that's a problem. But we act like we should make it to all the Final Four when we don't go to all the Final Fours every season. It's interesting to me. Smizo just killed me with it was 18 years. 18 years between national championships. I'm going to go with this. A lot of people want to say UConn should be a blue blood, but man, you know, though, sometimes UConn, like our fans complain about the last couple of years with Cal. Go look at UConn's roller coaster ride. Either they national championship or bust. They don't even first round, don't even get into the tournament. Just interesting, man. It it reminds me of this. I, if you don't know, I am a scroller of Twitter, and this got to me, y'all. I'm gonna get off of basketball because I don't like talking about. Definitely don't like talking about men's basketball. I'm gonna get off of basketball and I'm gonna go this route for a second. I wish Anthony was here because he would. This would tickle him. Steven, I'm gonna tell. So Steven brings this with Elijah Haven. I play. Elijah Haven goes to my rival school. We play him every year. He's in one of the lower classes of football. I'm gonna say this about Elijah. He is an unbelievable kid. Great talent. Here's the crazy part about it. Elijah goes to the rival school of my school, in the school that I coach at. He goes there as a basketball player. He's a stud basketball player. He is an elite basketball player. I'm gonna say this. He probably realized that at 6'4", being a front court player at that size is not great. I don't think he can play guard on the next level. So then he went for football. Here's the thing about Elijah that's tough for me to evaluate. And I'm going to be honest because we're on the locker. He plays in 2A, which would be probably equivalent to Kentucky 3A because we have a BC. So let me just go through. So we have 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, B, C. The only difference between 1A and B is B schools don't have football. So they are kind of the same. So if you go through the A system, 1A will be C, 2A will be B and 1A, 3A will be 2A, which is the class that I play in, the class that Elijah plays in. The class that Derek Stingley played in, because Derek Stingley went to the same school that Elijah Haven is attending now. So this is my thing with Elijah right now, and I'm gonna go through a little bit of evaluation. So Elijah Haven is pretty much, honestly, he's like the Tim Couch. If I know y'all guys remember, that's probably a good comparison. Remember Tim Couch played in high school? He was at the quarterback. I saw highlights of him. He's like the biggest player on the field. The same thing with Elijah is that he's the biggest player on the field a lot of times. He's an imposing figure. He's athletic. Obviously, because he played basketball. He is a damn good athlete. This is my thing. I'm not 1,000% sure he's a SEC quarterback, and it's only because of this, y'all. Honestly, when we played Elijah his freshman year, I'm like, this kid is unbelievable. He threw a route on my secondary that it was cover 2, and if you know cover 2, there's a hole shot right in the high corner of cover 2, the safety in the corner. And I teach my corners how I was taught, butt to the sideline, shuffle so you can break down or break back. Safety is playing. In this case, he would have been outside of number 2. And this MF threw it from the opposite hash, which high school and college hashes are wide. He threw it from the opposite hash to the damn pylon, and it was on a dime. My guys came to the sideline, pissed off. I'm like, guys, you got to tip your hat to it. He throws a ball from the opposite hash to the front pylon on a dot. There is nothing you can do with that. So his freshman year, man, I thought he was and he's a young freshman at that. He might have been 14. He might have been 13, well, 13, 14, 15. He was definitely 14. He's a young, whatever. He's a young junior now. And I'm like, this mother, he's 6'4". He can run the rock. And he throws that kind of ball. So I'm like, this kid, when he gets to be a senior, is going to be a problem. Now, I'm gonna just be honest. The next time we played him his sophomore year, and I'm gonna be frank with y'all. Those first 2 years, we had a great defense. We had, like, I'll just say this. This year, we lost everybody on defense because they all left after last year. We had 12 guys that started since their sophomore year. So when we played them every year, when we played his sophomore year, they were seniors. And it was rainy, it was mud, and his sophomore and his freshman sophomore year, he didn't play well against us as he played against everybody else, putting up crazy numbers. I think his sophomore year, freshman year, we had more picks than he had touchdowns. His sophomore year, it was in a rainy slop. It was hard to throw. We had another pick in that game against him. Last year, he kind of handed to, we had a whole new group of defensive players. Here is the thing that I see as an evaluator. Is he changed his arm slot and he's not driving the ball anymore. He's accurate as shit. Like, Sloan wants a guy who can complete 70%. I will say he probably completes 80 because he's accurate and he has receivers that they don't run routes. They find green grass. He's able to get the ball to him. He has good athletes on the perimeter in a smaller class. But from his freshman year to his junior year, his arm motion has changed. I personally don't like it. He's not driving the ball anymore. It's almost like he's floating it. And if I'm evaluating him as a junior, he was better as a freshman. He's smarter as a junior, but his mechanics to me were better as a freshman. I don't like whoever decided to change his mechanics. I personally don't like it. Now, here's the thing. The guy has immense talent. If he gets back to, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, if he gets back to his freshman year driving the ball, I think he can be the best thing. He's Patrick Mahomes-ish. He has that ability. So can Sloan and Stein get him back to that? Maybe. But what I've seen as he elevated in his experience, I don't like whoever got to him, whatever quarterback guru, whomever, who changed the way he throws the rock. I don't like it. It's too much touch on the ball all the time. And as we know, when you get to this level in the SEC, that shit is going back the other way. So that's the only, Stephen, that's the only problem I have with that. Physically, the guy is unbelievable. He has a great arm freshman year. So now I think he floats it too much. But great, he's a mind being around him, 7-on-7 in the summer, playing against him. He is an incredible kid. His parents have done an amazing job of raising a great young adult. I don't think you're going to have problems with him off the field. I don't think you're going to have problems with him in the classroom. I think he's going to be a net positive on any team. But if we are truly evaluating, and that's what I'm doing right now, is that I don't like the change of mechanics. And that to me hinders, I think, his ability to be elite in the college level with how he's doing it in high school right now. But, big but, if someone can get to him because the guy is physically, he has it all. If someone can get to him and get those mechanics back to what I'm gonna just say this to what I think they should be, he's the elite, no doubt about it. And like Steven, like I said, I've played against him every year he's been a quarterback. Way off topic, but I just got back from Martin. Oh, Smizo! New Orleans high schools have at least a dozen bands better. Smizo, a dozen? A dozen? There's more than a dozen. Shit. Yeah, there's more than a dozen. But yeah, Smizo, you have a lot of, and this is why New Orleans is unbelievable, is that you get a lot of local schools with the influence of the city. It shows through. And yeah, man. And then on top of that, you have Southern University, which is historically one of the best bands year in, year out. You got Grambling. Like, we have some great bands. Even LSU has stepped their game up since I was a kid. So yeah, that bands down here, man, are a big thing. There are guys who, there are kids, every race, ethnicity, social, economic background, etc., that wants, if they are into producing, orchestrating, um, they are musically inclined, want to go to Southern. At, Southern is not an all black band. It's not. You got all ethnicities that are trying to go there. Now, the problem is going that band, I would just tell you this, and I'm sure it's the same thing. Southern University band practice more than Southern University football team. That's been the case since I was a kid. The amount of hours they put in at Southern is ridiculous. So if you want to be in that art of music, Southern is, it's difficult. If a kid is the band leader or a member of the band, they have earned it with blood and sweat, because those MFers practice a lot. It doesn't. I saw. Oh, Smizo, yeah. I'm telling you, man. I know this for a fact. So it's hard to get into Southern University band as to get on the football team. That's a fact. There are some football there. Some people who tried out for football couldn't make it, and said they were trying out for the band. The band was harder than trying out for the football team. But since I got thrown off by Elijah Haven, here's what I was scrolling today, and this is the back and forth, man, that gets me with football. So I follow Adam Archuleta? I think I follow Adam Archuleta. If you know Adam Archuleta, he was drafted by the Rams after, if you watched a few broadcasts ago about, he drafted after Rich Cody. If you know, you know. And it was about tackle. And I am 50 years old. I'm way away from playing football, but I almost feel like I just played football like 5 years ago. So I am definitely more on player's side when it gets to this. I don't think the average coach, I don't think the average fan understands how difficult it is to tackle. I just don't think people get it. And here's the crazy part about it. So in high school, let's be general. In high school, most running back coaches probably coach linebackers. It's usually a good transition running back to linebacker coach. You're a running back coach, you might be a linebacker. Know what's crazy? So we, as in practice, we can tackle in a vacuum, right? Oh, butt down, head up, like all that stuff, and we can run through, rip through, squeeze, all that stuff, right? Good form tackles. You can probably count on two hands the amount of form tackles there are in any given game. I'm gonna really say one, but I'm gonna give you two. Okay. Know what's crazy is that linebacker coach says when you miss a tackle on a running back, how dare you miss that tackle on the run? Run through them, head up, see what you're gonna tackle, blah, blah. All the rhetoric that coaches talk about when tackling. That same coach, when they go on offense, how dare you let the linebacker tackle you? You can't let one guy tackle you. Damn sure can't let the linebacker tackle you. Running backs make one guy miss. The elite runs make one. Well, you must not be an elite running back because you can't, because the linebacker squares you up every time. Is that not funny? Or it's just funny to me? The same coach has been contradicted to the. That's kind of like fans too. Like talk about earlier. Like Kenny Brooks doesn't play enough players. Mark Pope plays too many players. Linebacker coach, how dare you miss that tackle on that running back? Running back coach, how dare you let that linebacker tackle you one-on-one? Tackling, y'all, as a guy who was I was a decent tackler. I wasn't elite level, but I was good enough. When I played offense in high school, and I have highlight tapes that can prove it. The first guy that came to me, I'm not looking at you. I'm not like the first guy, you missing. I'm worried about the next guy. What I'm worried about is how am I going to make you miss? Is the closest guy inside, the closest guy outside? Closest guy inside, I'm going to set you up with an out in and back out. So I'll make you go back in. Maybe you can cut off that guy coming from the inside, and I'm going to go around the corner. I'm not worried about you, though, because in my heart, I know you have no chance of tackling me. I'm worried about the next level. Steven, you're right. You're right. A-Dot would be like, you ain't going to tackle me, but then you'd be like, I'm going to make the tackle because I'm a good tackler. You're right. So for me carrying the ball as a running back is a beast. Carrying the ball as a quarterback, not so much. There's many reasons why. But me, when I carry the ball as a quarterback, that first guy has no shot at me. Just, it's not to say that the first guy didn't tackle me ever. But my head is, who is next? I see you right here. I'm running this way. I see you right here, but I'm scanning for who's behind you. That's the next threat. So tackling is incredibly hard. And it's not talked about enough because everybody wants everybody to be great tacklers and form tacklers. And it should be no missed tackles. Bullshit. You get your ass out there and have Derrick Henry or, as when I was playing, Fred Taylor coming at you who can run by you or run through you. Which one are you going to pick? Like the tackling thing, man, is 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 it just it bothers me because it's like I was just talking to my dad before I came on here, man. And one of the great, I know I've said this before, one of the great things about my dad being an old school guy is he does not say stuff like, well, we did things different way and harder and all that stuff. It's like sometimes these coaches who are old school, when players were not as electric, just think it's easier, and it's not. Things have gotten harder. You got guys like Derrick Henry. How big is Derrick Henry? That's a big man who can run. Tackling that man is very difficult, and there's a lot of them. It hasn't gotten easier, and I'm a transition from new school to old school, which triggered me with something else. Is that it's just not easy, man. Tackling is hard. It's hard. Here's the crazy thing, y'all. The new school, old thing that just triggered me. I'm a track guy. If you if you haven't, if you just starting to follow or you just follow Locker, you don't follow me, is I always describe myself as a track guy that plays football, not a football guy that ran track. I am legitimately a track guy. If there's two things in my life that happened that was crazy. If I would not have been able to practice at the school that I ended up going to high school, Episcopal High School, Baton Rouge. If we didn't have to practice there in summer, I would have went to another school in high school that didn't have a football team. So I would have only played basketball and ran track. I would have been a decathlete, maybe would have made the Olympics. I was on that track of that track, no pun intended. I was on that path of career being a track guy. Track wasn't giving out full scholarship. Football was. So this new school old thing is, and this is translates into all sports, and I'm gonna really nail it down in track, is that I am seeing on Twitter, I'm seeing some crazy ass workouts, some crazy ass exercises that, in my opinion, that are putting kids at risk. The crazy thing about it, man, is with social media, everybody's trying to make is trying to get engagements and to make money off of just being on social media. I'm gonna tell you from a football standpoint, from a track standpoint, from a biomechanical standpoint, is that we are putting our kids at risk with doing some of these damn things that these and some like I don't even have a strength and conditioning certificate, so I don't even post stuff. But some of the things that I see, man, is going to an extreme to make a certain exercise or a certain um training regimen look unique. It's like all the damn ladder work I see like these receivers doing. It's like it does. I'm being honest with y'all. It does not translate. Same thing. Like I like 7-on-7, but I like 7-on-7 when it's a realistic 7-on-7. Like we are running defenses and we're running route and schemes and concepts like it's a real game. The benefit of 7-on-7 is to get the reps, but to have it be real reps. How many fucking times do a high school team send out 5 receivers and it's an empty set? How many times? Let's be honest. How many times are y'all releasing 5 receivers or going empty? I go on 7-on-7 and all they run is empty sets. That's the part of 7-on-7 that I don't think is realistic. The other thing on 7-on-7 that I think, from a DB standpoint, that needs to change is they need to put some barrier up. And I know it's impossible. Some barrier up an offensive lineman where people can't throw fucking 2-yard shallow routes where there's a damn offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, just put their hands up and been blocked. Like that kind of stuff. So to me, 7-on-7 is not realistic, but I don't mind it. So for me, I think old school wise, let's go back to doing simple stuff and maybe going like we went 2 back in 7-on-7. You had 3 receivers go out. That's realistic. Okay, let's say you go 4 receivers go out. Let's do more of that. Why you got to send out 5? It's almost impossible for a defense to defend 5 with no fucking pass rush. Nobody in the quarterback's, no hand in the quarterback face. Nobody pushing the pocket. So with some of this training, man, as I said, go back to that, simple is better, man. Like, you don't have to reinvent training and methods of training to make it better. Cover 2, man. Palms, cover 2, palms, cover 4, whatever you want to call it, is the same in 1993 as it was in now in 2026. Here's the thing that I want people to understand as coaches and as content creators. It really goes to this, man. It really goes to this as far as coaching. Really. Can you get the trust from a kid and can you teach it? Can you teach the concept so that everybody understands it? Because some kids need a different set of instructions than another. Are you willing to change your verbiage so every kid understands it some way, somehow? It doesn't take you trying to create some new something to get the same result. We're still running. Now, are there some variations of cover 2 with now the RPO that's a little different? Sure. But it's still fucking palms, cover 2, Tampa 2, whatever you want to call it. It's still the same, y'all. And I see guys trying too much to put their own wrinkle on things. Why don't you just rep the concept so the kid gets it after doing 100 reps and understanding how and teaching the kid to understand route concepts? The route concepts are still pretty much the fucking same. Just like with track workouts, y'all. There are some great coaches, y'all. And like I said, I love track. There are some great coaches that are online. And I have bought their seminar or whatever. We have a guy, Bruce Schneider, which is probably one of the greatest coaches in the history of track, whom's real good friends with the coach on my staff. He can give us all the fucking workouts he wants, all the methods, but we as coaches have to implement them the right way for our kids. Even though we got one of the best coaches in the history of track that can give us and help us with implementing workouts, the workout is not the answer to your problems. is, can you implement the right one of those workouts? Because the way he schedules it is not probably beneficial to us. Our kids are not the kids he has trained. So we can get all the template, but we have to be able to mold those things to what our kids can adapt to. The same thing with all these new school damn defenses and schemes. If your kids don't understand it and you can't teach it properly, I don't give a damn how smart you are as a coach. If the kids can't digest it, it ain't gonna work. So sometimes simple is better. I don't need to see you try to show your superiority and your intellect of whatever sport it is. Because you can be the smartest guy, you can be the smartest coach on the field, but look like the dumbest one because your kids can't run, execute, understand what you're trying to get them to do. So for me, y'all, I just want to get new school, old school. Sometimes, y'all, and I'm going to say this, the Soviets and the Germans, when it comes to track, has a lot of answers. Now they also added some drugs to their answers, but they have the answers. It's simple. The body is simple. If you get into biomechanics, it's right there for you. It's right there for you. We want to show how smart we are sometimes, and it's to the detriment of our kids. It really is. And sometimes we need to find a way to, sometimes you got to dumb it down. I'm getting close to 9 o'clock, y'all. Let's see what I want to. I wrote some stuff down. Let me get to my damn. Let me see. Oh, yes, this is it. This is it. I'm gonna stop here. This is a big one, man. I'm glad I wrote this down, y'all. Like I said earlier, I scroll on Twitter a lot. This is the thing that bothers me the fucking most. And since we are a little quiet today, what bothers me the most is we have a shit ton of people. We have a shit ton of people that can always poo-poo an idea, but have no solution. I hear it all the time. Well, why don't we do this? Well, no, not why is he doing that? Why are you doing this? But you have no solution. For me, personally, if you don't have a solution, I think you need to shut the hell up. Because it comes to a point where I think people just poo-poo on stuff just to poo-poo and troll. And I honestly don't think people actually believe what they're saying. They just want to be a contrarian. I've been a contrarian all the time. But at least as a contrarian, you have to have some solution or some rebuttal to how you can make that whatever you are downing or trolling about. What's your solution to that? What's your solution? There's a lot of people that's got a lot of shit to say. And who said this? I saw this. Take your bottom lip and press it up against your top lip and shut the fuck up. And here's the thing, y'all. I am a person who likes to hear both sides. I truly do. Come with solutions. Come with solutions. So I'm gonna leave you with this. As Anthony said, sometimes, y'all, don't let your intrusive thoughts come out your mouth. Because sometimes you look stupid because the intrusive thoughts are supposed to stay internal, not to be external. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Next week, I think I have a strong feeling Anthony's gonna be back. Like, comment, subscribe, share, bring a friend, bring 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. Twitter at the Locker 401 on all social media platforms. You can find us on at the Locker 401. Go to YouTube. Hey, look, y'all. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's free. So don't go thinking that, it's a paywall or something like that. No, just go subscribe. It helps us. I will also have y'all, why don't y'all make a comment? Make it a positive one, though. Give us a thumbs up. It helps our algorithm. It gets us to more people, more eyes. So do that for us. Go like us on Twitter. All right. Steven, I appreciate that. Y'all appreciate y'all for joining little old me. Anthony will be here next week. So again, thank you, and we out.